there sometimes, right?
Exactly right, because they're such a matchup nightmare, and they're hybrid guys. Are they receivers? Are they big guys that block? How about the one we just saw there? Catch it and go. Run after catch all the way to the end zone.
Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. Austin elects to bring this out of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you described.
And he coughed it up. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. And he'll take this down inside the 15-yard line. There are 2 words that we hear coaches say all of the time. One starts with a B, one starts with an S. Ball security.
And they preach it. They have it up in meeting rooms, right? You see the signs. They talk about it all the time. But still, when you got defenders out there who are preaching, hey.
Edmonds has it knocked loose. Could have been a costly mistake, but as it turns out, they keep possession.
You can't give away these types of opportunities in the red zone. And I'm sure that was flashing through his brain as the ball escaped his hands. Fortunately for him, able to get picked up by his team. Fumble recovered. They still have an opportunity deep in the red zone.
They haven't made much of this great starting field position they had. Here's 3rd and 6. From the gun, it's Tua. Losing 4 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. So on 4th down, Dolphin kicker Jason Sanders comes on. From the right hash, this a 31-yard attempt. Sanders' kick is good, and they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. So golden field position there is squandered as they can muster only a field goal.
Yeah, you were gifted a first-and-goal situation, but I have to give credit to the defense. They were brought out in a really tough situation, so give them credit for holding them to 3. That's a pretty nice accomplishment.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive? A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown. But they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach will be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield, punching the end zone without turning it over.
Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down. 10-3 our score after 1 here on EA Sports. They'll come to the line needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. Trying to pick it up on the ground with Harris. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 52 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point.
We all love to have a home run hitter in the backfield. Guy can take it the distance. But in short yardage, trying to pick up first downs, that big guy, always a nice luxury to have, isn't he?
They run again with Harris. And a strong run that time as he's across midfield and down to the 43. 11 more on that one and another first down. They went counter there offensively, and a couple of defenders were on skates for a second.
They certainly were, and you know what offensive linemen love about the counters and the misdirections? Sometimes you don't even have to block the defender. He can run himself out of the play if he doesn't read his keys properly.
Boy, nowhere to go at all on that first down run as they will get to him behind the line of scrimmage.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Harris running straight ahead.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
Throwing on 3rd down, here's Pickett. That ball caught by the former Toledo Rocket, Deontay Johnson. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Oh, they're going to run a little pop pass here. They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4.
Now, they did get a little gain on this play, but all in all, a nice job defensively against the touch pass. They were able to string it out towards the sideline and never let him get the corner and turn it upfield for a bigger chunk of yardage.
He's got Claypool for a Steeler touchdown. Chase Claypool, a 20-yard touchdown. And the Steelers are within an extra point of tying up this ball game. Boswell good with the extra point, and we are even at 10 apiece. All level now at 10 apiece as the kick's away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. And Charles, still a long way to go in the season, we know that. But as it stands, these are your top 2 seeds in the AFC. So I ask you, is this a potential AFC championship preview?
Brandon, I need you to get me a fence and a saddle because I'm about to ride that bad boy because I think there's so many good teams in the AFC. Maybe we could look at like 3 games a weekend and say, this could be an AFC championship preview.
Another try after the first down sack. Tua. And he's got his tight end. It's Mike Gesicki. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. 27 yards there, a first down.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Tagovailoa working out of the gun. That's complete. Once again, it's Gesicki. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41. Now, you and I, partner, we got the plum assignment this week. An unbeaten team against a one-loss team. Really not much separating these two entering play here today.
Not much at all. And I think for both coaches, they looked at their team and said, guys, you got to know what you're getting into in this one, and you better be ready to go because you get to answer the...
And this is caught. Touchdown, Dolphins. Tyreek Hill, 59 yards. And the Dolphins have broken our tie as they take the lead. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that makes it a 17-10 score. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They find themselves down 17-10 as they come up on a 1st and 10. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Pickett sets up play action. It's complete to Watt. So the completion good for 6 yards, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Good, sure hands there from a guy not accustomed to catching a whole lot of passes. But how about the way he was able to pull that one in and pick up good yardage?
On 2nd down, this is Harris. And some nifty running here as he'll take this across midfield and down to the 47. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Harris. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
And we often talk about defensive ends setting the edge, sometimes even the outside linebackers. But how about here? This was a cornerback essentially setting the edge and finishing off that play for a loss.
That's going to be complete on the sideline, but it left him no room to run as he goes straight out of bounds. They'll wind up getting just a yard out of it. And that brings up 3rd and a full 10 yards.
Was that a receiver? Yeah, actually it was. There's a running back who was a receiver on the play. Ikey's been spending time in the receiver drills getting his feet down.
Well, those guys out of the backfield, they got to be good, agile with their feet. He showed the agility there with a toe tap.
No doubt about it. It's like he'd run to ballet school. Got the toes down.
And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Keon Crossan. And the Dolphins are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. 3rd and long that time. He was trying to make something happen, but a little too risky.
Well, the field tilted on him, and what I mean by that is what you said. 3rd and long. Got to push it downfield to try and pick up the 1st down. Defensive backs live for this situation, and they took advantage of the young man right there.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. Well, prior to that, he had hit his first 6 passes to start the game, so on a nice little run to begin.
It feels like this offense has carried its dress rehearsal into the game. You know, because you do practice it, you do go through it, and in this case, it is clicking exactly like they drew it up.
And a completion to Wilson. And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5. The Steelers signal for the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the 1st half.
Ready up.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Tua going to throw. He's going to fire this thing deep right sideline. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on 4th down. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. Now Austin. And nice work on the return as he gets about 15 yards back. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. Final play of the 1st half. Here's Pickett. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Keon Crossan. And he will be brought down on what will be the final play of this 1st half. So the 2 teams will head to the locker rooms here in Miami with the Dolphins on top. As we go up to Orlando now and hand it over to Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. The Dolphins in front, and they'll be in possession of the football first as the 2nd half gets started. Taking it about the 1. And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. This offense set to begin the third quarter. And, Charles, if they had a checklist of things they wanted to accomplish in the first half, certainly at the top of that list would be having the lead, and they've got that here.
That's always the most important box to check, isn't it? But also, they've had some success in their passing game, so probably an empty box establishing the run. They're on pace for fewer than 100 yards in this one. So now they want to make sure that they get that going so they truly have a control in this ball game. And down the stretch, being able to be balanced. Either throw it or run it and try and win this ball game.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. On second down, this is Edmonds. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage. And no more. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. He's already fumbled once in this game, and I thought the ball started to jostle there a little bit, but they got to him quickly at the line of scrimmage.
They sure did. And remember, if you're not a very confident runner and you've already dropped it once, if there's traffic around you, the only thing you think about is protecting the football, not gaining yards.
Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. The safety, Terrell Edmonds, picks it. And a super return as he gets us all the way down inside the 25-yard line. That is just what this defense was hoping for, an interception on the opening possession of this third quarter.
Obviously didn't want to surrender a touchdown and fall even farther behind. And we've gotten to know this team a little bit, haven't we? Couldn't you just see their defensive leaders telling the offensive guys, telling the quarterback, don't worry, we got you to start things off. You take it from there. The goal is certainly to try and make a big play happen and climb back into this game, but you have to be careful. If you overdo it, you could turn it over and hurt your team.
Well, once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. On the give, this is Harris, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
That was a terrific play, causing a loss. As a middle linebacker, simple. You can either fill holes or you can attack them, as he did there.
On 3rd down, here's Harris. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down. Boswell's kick is good. So kind of disappointing there. I mean, yes, they get the 3, but with starting field position like that, 3's not what you're banking on. No,
and you just have to wonder if you can afford to let chances like that continue to pass you by. You've got to find ways to get the ball to the end zone and put 6s on the scoreboard.
And he's probably realizing he should have stayed in the end zone as he can only muster a return to the 14-yard line. 1st down Miami as they get set to start the drive. And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive. In particular, if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ball game.
Yeah, some guys, you know they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to look to hit a couple shorter passes, get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, that goal's not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you got to watch them a little bit because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit, maybe their splits a little bit in order to try and get to the ball even faster.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Being chased out left. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete, certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down. Here's Thomas Morstead now, standing just outside his own goal line. Here's Austin. That'll go as a 46-yard punt with a return of 7. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And after the field goal last time, let's see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
First down, and they go back to Harris. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. Working his way in there that time, Melvin Ingram to make the stop.
With his size, it often takes more than one guy to get him down, but if you can at least slow him up and the reinforcements arrive, you have a chance to get him on the ground, and that they did, that time for a loss.
He gets it complete to Harris. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Now Pickett. Setting up the screen, Harris. And he can only get this to the 42-yard line. And that is not near enough. That one good for only 6, and it leaves them with a 4th down. The Steelers send out their punter now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. And now a low liner. I think he mishit it. And they'll go ahead and down this one right on the chalk of the 20-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Now they've got the lead here getting late into the 3rd quarter. And the passing game for them, it's been terrific. We've seen that. But the rushing game, almost non-existent.
And with the lead and trying to finish this game off, they need the running game to come back to life. They need to get sparked that way, take some time off the clock, and keep the ball away from their opponents.
And a lot of times, these plays, they either go for nothing or they go for big yardage. And here, they got to the outside, turned it upfield, and ended up getting a nice little gain out of it.
Now a run straight ahead with Edmonds. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Another carry now for Edmonds. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. The safety, Terrell Edmonds, picks it. And they will finally get him down as he's all the way to the 36-yard line. A seismic shift in momentum here in the 4th quarter. That's the break that the defense needed.
And you know as well as I do, people are going to question the play call in that situation. Sometimes you have to question the execution, not necessarily the call. And in this case, those defenders found a way to give their team a chance.
And he'll go down at the 28. A gain of 8 there on the play. And that'll bring up a 2nd down in just a couple. They hand this off to Harris. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. So it's the big left tackle who gets tagged with a hold.
And sometimes you're actually executing the block well, and he starts to slip off of you, and instinctively you reach out and grab him.
And when it's done like that, it's often seen by the official and called.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Off the play fake, here's Pickett. Buying time to his left. And he wisely will throw that one away.
Oh, that's good decision-making right there. Understood down and distance. Knew it wasn't 3rd down, and he still had another opportunity to earn the 1st down. Good job throwing it away and avoiding an interception.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. A run with Harris out of the shotgun. And a pretty nice tackle there, ranging up from his free safety spot as he'll stop him about a yard short. They'll get 10 there, but it leaves them just short for 4th down. They had quite a hole to dig out of there on 3rd and long. Not able to get the first, but a pretty good size run.
A really good run, but how much confidence do you have in your next play call that you can sell to the head coach? Let's go get it on 4th down. Do you really have a play you believe in, or are you just hopeful? And you've got to sell it to the big man before it gets called.
Boswell's kick is good, and that'll bring him back within a point. So with that field goal, this one's now back within a field goal. Maybe not the ultimate result they wanted, but gets them that much closer.
This game is unfolding like a really good book, isn't it? Because I feel like there's a few more plot twists yet to be revealed before this one is over.
And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25.
Here we go. 1st down Miami as they get set to start the drive.
They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets 1st downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those 1st downs, keep possession of the football.
Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A big play on the catch and run, covering 34 yards. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Tua sets up to pass it. Going right back to Wilson. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and it's 2nd down.
Let's go now.
On the handoff, it's Edmonds. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29. Now, the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
As big of a play as we've had in this one so far. This is 3rd and 3. Now Tua. Going down the middle, and it's complete. There they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. Edmonds is not going anywhere. He'll be hit and dropped for no gain at the 2-yard line. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
So the ball's moved to about the 1 after the penalty. 1st and goal. Tua going to run the sneak. And he'll get in. He's over for the touchdown. Tua Tagovailoa. His 3rd touchdown of the game, number 16 on the season. And the Dolphins are able to build on to their 4th quarter lead. And his kick is good, but flags come in. Looks like we're going to get a roughing call here on the follow-through. Trailing in the 4th, this close of a game, that's a penalty you just can't afford.
It's an absolute killer, and it's one that drives coaches and teammates insane.
And that'll be a little too hot to handle as it will skip through the end zone for a touchback here.
Pickett leads the Steelers up here with a fresh set of downs.
At their own 25-yard line.
Harris will start the drive out.
And they're able to get this one across the 35.
109 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on.
Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll keep it on the ground. Harris again. And he'll power ahead, but only for about 3 yards. Second down coming up. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Here's Pickett.
And this is going to be incomplete. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
Now Pickett.
And the throw there going to be incomplete.
With that incompletion, reality is staring them right in the face. This entire game is down to the next snap.
Pickett, 4th down, desperation time. He's got Pickens complete, and he is going to have the Steelers' first down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive. Looking to throw here, Pickett.
They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he is going to lose yardage here. Not what they had in mind there. That's going to go as a loss of 4.
Short game, last 2 plays. Who you think's excited about that?
Absolutely, this defense, they're saying go right ahead with those. Now Harris. Only a yard on the gain there, and that'll set up 3rd and 13. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this 4th quarter. A long way to go here on 3rd down for the 8th play of the drive.
Pickett to throw. And the comeback may stall out. It's intercepted.
Picked off Byron Jones. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a Dolphins touchdown. That's about as tough as they come. You're driving to try to put the ball in the end zone and tie the game, and that happens.
It's exciting for us, wasn't it? Because we were thinking, hey, we might be headed towards overtime. Instead, it looks like this one may very well be done. And guess what? If you're a fantasy owner and you have that defense, you just had a big, big game, didn't you?
Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick.
Taken at the goal line. And he won't quite make it to the 25.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They have a little bit of time left here, but this one not going to go their way.
And this is where, in this situation for me, you just go ahead and run out the clock, shake hands, congratulations, and move on. Because now, you're not going to make up for what's happened during the game in this last sequence.
We'll see what they do here in this last sequence.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Pickett.
And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock.
This offense has had its troubles moving the ball all night. So now you get in this situation, hard to imagine that suddenly they're going to start clicking and moving the ball downfield.
On the ground, it's Harris. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. So it's a win for the Dolphins here, and it was a strong performance by Tua that helped lead the way.
Yeah, he did a little bit of everything, didn't he? He had 2 touchdown passes through the air, another one on the ground, and that defense, they really had no answer for many of their drives.
So for the Dolphins, their winning ways continue as they get it up to 7-0. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Detroit Lions. Meanwhile, for the Steelers, they drop just their second game so far as they fall to 5-2. And they'll look to get back in the winning column next week as they head to Philly to face off with the Eagles.
Yeah. You're in the presence of the realest essence of been serving lessons since the days of my adolescence. On the Cyrus block, young buck holding it like we knew it all, not afraid to do it all. Matter of fact, I look back and do it all. I can remember the haters say the game will ruin y'all. What's that to me? Don't give about a hater. Let them like the in my paper.
They call me Big Dog, riding with the hillbilly. Cubone staying with the lip. Really became a boss many years back. When I'm gone, can be pull your tears back. We put the bang and produce.